Monera. Kingdom Monera includes prokaryotic organisms. Prokaryotic organisms means they do not have the nuclear membrane and they do not have any membrane bounded cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast and endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body. All these type of cell organelles are all absent in this cytoplasm. They have only one cell organelle, that is a ribosome. So that ribosome is a without membrane cell organelle. That is also a 70S type of ribosome is present in bacteria. So here Monera includes prokaryotic organisms. All are prokaryotic organisms only. And the genetic material is a DNA, that is a circular DNA, double-stranded circular DNA. In other organisms, the DNA is a double-stranded but linear. Here it is a circular. And this DNA is a naked DNA without histone proteins. So that type of genetic material is also called as a genophore. So that is present in the center part of the cell in the cytoplasm. So that part of the cell is called as a nucleoid, not nucleus, because it is not having the nuclear membrane as well as not having the nucleolus. So mitochondrial type of cell organelles, chloroplast type of cell organelles are also absent. So Monera is a very primitive type of organisms. They include bacteria. These bacteria are again divided into Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Actinomycetes, Rickettsia. These three types. And the second one is the Cyanobacteria. Third one is the Mycoplasma. So bacteria were discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek, and the name bacteria was given by Ehrenberg. So bacteria means stick-like organisms. They have cell wall, but that cell wall do not contain cellulose. Though that cell wall is made with peptidoglycans like NAM and NAG, N-acetyl muramic acid and N-acetyl glucosamine. So that cell wall is present. So bacteria, most of the bacteria are living as a decomposers. Some of the bacteria are living as a parasites, and some of the bacteria are living as a symbionts. So bacteria are cosmopolitan in distribution, that they are growing in all parts of this world, in all parts of this habitat. So they are called as a omnipresent or ubiquitous. They are growing in ice water, hot water, and even they are present in the soil, they are present in the air. They are also growing as a parasites in the human body and animals and plants. That's why they are called as a ubiquitous. So they have cell wall, but that cell wall do not contain cellulose, that is made with peptidoglycans. So here ribosomes are only present, other cell organelles are not present. And outside the cell wall, some other membranes or some other layers are present. Those layers together called as a glycocalyx. Those two layers are there. One is called as a slime layer and another one is called as a capsule. Slime layer is a loose layer and capsule is a tough layer. Both are made with polysaccharides and amino acids. But capsule is a genetically controlled character. The bacteria having capsule are called as a virulent bacteria. Without capsule, the bacteria are called as a virulent bacteria. So here then plasma membrane is there beneath the cell wall. That plasma membrane is a usual common type of plasma membrane, which is a trilamellar, that is phospholipids, bilayer, and proteins are also present. Then in the plasma membrane, a special type of structures are present, mesosomes. They are useful for nutrition, they are useful for cell division, and for other function also, for absorption and nutrition. So here these bacteria are divided into archaebacteria and eubacteria, Actinomycetes, Rickettsia. Then another one is cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are nothing but blue-green algae, Nostoc and Anabina. Mycoplasma. Mycoplasma are also called as PPLO organisms. Pleuropneumonia-like organisms. These are the smallest living organisms. They are living as a parasites, or they are also living as a saprophytes. But they do not require oxygen, so they are called as obligate anaerobes. They are the smallest living organisms known so far. Mycoplasma, PPLO, Knockout, discovered by Knockout. They also cause diseases to plants and animals. For animals, they cause a disease like urethritis. For plants, they cause a disease like witch's brooms. But what is the important character? They do not have the cell wall. Mycoplasma without cell wall. Sometimes they are also called as the jokers of plant kingdom, because they do not have the cell wall. Just they are surrounded by only plasma membrane, so there is no definite shape. That's why they are called as the jokers of the plant kingdom. But they are the smallest living organisms known so far. Mycoplasma. Cyanobacteria are the Nostoc, Anabina and Oscillatoria. They are once upon a time they are included under algae, so they are also called as BGA organisms, blue-green algae. Nostoc and Anabina are the colony, multicellular colony type of organisms. Oscillatoria is a filamentous organism. These are photosynthetic organisms, oxygenic. They produce oxygen by their photosynthesis. But bacteria perform photosynthesis, but they do not produce oxygen. So that they are called as anaxigenic organisms. But the cyanobacteria are called as oxygenic organisms. Oxygenic organisms. Cyanobacteria. They grow in water and they spoil the water. That water is not suitable for drinking. Cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, Nostoc, Anabina and Oscillatoria. Then coming to this bacteria, so bacteria mainly these 4 types are there. Archaebacteria, the very primitive bacteria, they are growing in very extreme places. Extreme places means in hot water, in acidic places. They are methanogenic bacteria is one of the important archaebacteria. They produce methane gas. Methanogenic bacteria, archaebacteria. Thermoacidophilic bacteria, halophilic bacteria. Halophilic bacteria are growing in halo means salt water. Thermoacidophilic bacteria, hot and acidic conditions. They are growing in hot and acidic conditions. So like that archaebacteria, primitive bacteria which are growing in extreme places, extreme habitats, they are called as archaebacteria. And eubacteria are the true bacteria, advanced bacteria. Mostly this bacteria are unicellular organisms. These bacteria are spherical shaped bacteria, comma shaped bacteria. Spherical shaped bacteria are called as the coccus, and the rod shaped bacteria they are called as the bacillus, and the comma shaped bacteria are called as the vibrio, and spiral shaped bacteria are called as the spirillum. All these 4 types of bacteria are included under the eubacteria. That is a coccus, bacillus, vibrio and spirillum. These are the. And some bacteria frequently change their shape also. Such type of bacteria are called as pleomorphic bacteria. Pleomorphic bacteria. Actinomycetes bacteria are filamentous bacteria. For example, Streptomyces is a good example of Actinomycetes. Streptomyces. Streptomyces is a very important bacteria that produce important antibiotics like streptomycin, neomycin, chloramphenicol, antibiotic. The antibiotics were discovered by Walkman. So most of the antibiotics that nowadays we are getting from the actinomycetes, that is a streptomyces. So another actinomycetes is a frankia. Frankia. That is growing in root nodules of non-leguminous plants like casuarina and ulmus. Frankia. Even Corynebacterium diphtheria. Corynebacterium diphtheria is also another example of actinomycetes. Then rickettsia cause a fever, that is called as a rickettsia organisms, another type of bacteria. Then here cell wall is present in all these bacteria, but cell wall is not present in mycoplasma without cell wall. Here the cell wall of the bacteria, eubacteria, are made with peptidoglycans, and outside to the cell wall another structure is present that is called as the glycocalyx, outer side to the cell wall. Glycocalyx is a two types, that is slime layer and capsule. Slime layer is a loose layer, capsule is a very tough layer and hard layer. Both are made with polysaccharides and amino acids. The capsule layer is very important for bacteria which cause disease. Those bacteria which have capsule, they are called as virulent bacteria. It is genetically controlled bacteria. So both of these two layers protect the bacteria from the desiccation, from water loss. Okay. Then so here that so Nostoc cyanobacteria examples, Nostoc and Anamina oscillatoria. Mycoplasma are discovered by nocards and ruarks. Nocard and ruarks. So nutritionally also autotrophs are there, heterotrophs are there in bacteria. Autotrophs are photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs means they derive energy from the sunlight and they absorb carbon from the carbon dioxide. They are called as photoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs are different. They derive energy by oxidation of inorganic chemical substances, not from sunlight. So chemoautotrophs are again divided into nitrifying bacteria, iron bacteria, sulfur bacteria and hydrogen bacteria. For example, nitrifying bacteria, they oxidize ammonia into nitrites and nitrates. Example, Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter. Iron bacteria, they oxidize iron, ferrous into ferric salts. For example, Leptothrix. Sulfur bacteria sulfur is oxidized into H2SO4 and some bacteria oxidize H2S also. Example, Bagiota and that is a sulfur bacteria. So iron bacteria, that is according to the nutrition, that is these two bacteria are autotrophs. Heterotrophs are also photoheterotrophs are there and chemoheterotrophs are there. Photoheterotrophs means they derive carbon from the organic compounds like amino acids. They derive energy from the sunlight only, but carbon source is different, not from the carbon dioxide. These are called as a photoheterotrophs. So chemoheterotrophs are nothing but saprophytes, parasites and simians. All these chemoheterotrophs derive their carbon as well as energy from the organic compounds only. This is a nutrition in bacteria, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs are again divided into photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs means they absorb inorganic carbon, that is carbon dioxide, and they absorb sunlight. They have chlorophyll and they prepare the food materials. Chemoautotrophs means they do not have the chlorophyll, they do not absorb the sunlight, and they derive the energy from the oxidation of inorganic chemicals. Based on the oxidation of inorganic chemicals, they are again divided into nitrifying bacteria, sulfur bacteria, iron bacteria. Also hydrogen bacteria is also there. Chemoautotrophs, chemicals. They oxidize the inorganic chemicals and derive the energy. Heterotrophs are again divided into photoheterotrophs and chemoheterotrophs. Photoheterotrophs here it is a photoautotrophs. What is the difference between these two? Here the photoheterotrophs absorb the carbon from the organic compounds like amino acids. Here they absorb the carbon from the carbon dioxide only. That is the only difference. Photoheterotrophs, photoautotrophs. They have chlorophyll. For example, Rhodospirillum is a good example of photoheterotrophs. And the chemoheterotrophs. Chemoheterotrophs are again divided into three groups, like parasitic bacteria, saprophytic bacteria, and symbiotic bacteria. They derive carbon as well as energy from organic compounds only. Parasites, they cause diseases, and symbionts, for example, Rhizobium, which is growing in root nodules of leguminous plants, and the saprophytic bacteria. Saprophytic bacteria decompose the dead organic materials, which are very important. So these saprophytic bacteria are very important for us also, because they play very important role in cycling of nutrients. They are also called as mineralizers. Minerals. In the cycling of nutrients, ultimately minerals are formed by the activity of this saprophytic bacteria. That is a chemoheterotrophs.